Hello, and welcome to the Monday Night Debrief. I hope you guys are all having a great day today. And before we get into it, question of the day. What movie of Star Wars has been on your mind the most? Specifically, what scene of Star Wars has just kind of been playing in your head over and over again? Let me know in the comments down below, and we'll talk about it. We'll get into a lot of awesome discussion, but we also got Master Paul of the Star Wars Guys. How are you
Hello.
doing tonight?
I am doing really well.
Awesome. How was your Monday?
So, boy, do I got a story. Someone got arrested at my place of work today.
Oh boy, a coworker or a person? Just like a customer?
A person.
Okay.
So, again, for those that don't know, I work at a very well-known caverns that I will not say the name of. And our caverns is so big and so important that we're protected by the Department of the Interior as a landmark. And basically, if you break off any of the rocks in there and try and take it out, that's a felony charge.
Right.
Guess what someone did today?
They tried to take some rocks.
They did, and pretty much got all the way to the entrance with it. And our four members of our town police, including our chief of police, was there, and they were there basically to intercept the guy. And I believe they found that he had a piece of formation about the size of my thumb, and they did indeed press charges on him. And Sci-Fi
Wow,
Nation,
that's
no,
surprising.
it is not Carlsbad. No, it's not Carlsbad.
That's surprising they actually went to press charges, because I know like in California, picking the poppies is illegal and you can be prosecuted for that, but everyone picks it and I've never heard of anyone actually getting in trouble for that. Let's give some sips to people while we still got starting up. We got Average. Here's a sip for you.
Hey, Average.
Here's you. Here's a sip for you. We got Daryl the Derelict. Here's a sip for you. We've got me. We've got Lord Crit, my 500th sub. Here's a sip for you. We've got Leia Rose. Here's a sip for you. Sci-Fi Nation. Here's a sip for you. And Nerd Boreal Lifeform. Here's a sip for you. Okay, I think we're good.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, man. Sooner or later, that's going to be like 50 people long, and I'm just going to have to chug an entire cup and say there's a gulp for all of you, and then get another cup of coffee.
Yeah.
See? There it goes. Watch it. And it's back. See? Magic.
Wait, you did that on
really
purpose?
Don't know. No. It's the way the camera does its own thing. Remember it does that like every 20 minutes it shuts off and on?
Yeah.
I haven't found a workaround for
perspectives.
That. Right. And I don't even think I have my other webcam. Maybe I do. What's it looking at right now? Under the table.
Well, at least we know you got. Well, at least we know no shady deals are going on under the table now.
Yeah. Just my pajama pants.
Yeah.
I am hearing you guys and Spock at the same time. Multitasking can be difficult sometimes.
It shouldn't be difficult for a nerdporial.
Yes. That's true. That is true. Paul keeps demoting me in Tuesday Night Trek. Can you tell him? Shame. I don't know what he's talking about, but shame.
I don't know what to... Okay. All right. Let me explain this for those that don't know what's going on here. So we've decided, you know what? Tuesday Night Trek, we're going to actually pretend to be the different parts of the crew of one of the Starfleet ships. And of course, I'm captain because it's my channel. I tried to make at first Nerdporial ship's surgeon because I thought the Dr. McCoy type character would suit him well, but apparently that's too low of a position for him. But frankly, I don't know what else to do.
Call him an ensign.
That's even worse.
I know. It just I don't know what to do about that. I don't know if I should get involved. Everyone in the chat, how are you guys doing today? How was your Monday? How was your weekend? Anything else crazy happen to any of you guys?
No, not really.
No. I had a crazy Monday of a Monday. It was good, but it was stressful at the same time. Yeah, but I made it through, and we're on to the rest of the week. And hopefully the stress part is behind me. It is a feud only in my mind. Chat, what do you guys think of the new camera angle and setup that I have? If you noticed it, what did you think? If you didn't notice it, then I don't know. Bummer. Let me just say that it has indeed been a Monday.
Fair enough. Yeah, I said it before, but I definitely like the new camera angle.
Sweet. Dig it. Nice. I like it a lot. Cool. Yeah, I was telling Paul this before we started. The background here is so bland and so terrible. Like the wall color is awful. It's really bad. And if I try to light me, the background is like even more lit. So the only thing I could really think of to fix that, to overcome that, is to have a more zoomed in angle where I'm in focus and the background is out of focus. And glad you guys like it. Is it your good side? I think so. I think that's my good side.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I can't raise this eyebrow by itself. So I don't know. But yeah, if you guys like the camera angle, I'll try to stick with it, because see, like here's out of focus. There's in focus. But yeah, I'm glad you guys are liking it. I'm trying to fix things because I want to give you guys the best content I can.
Thanks. I love having you on
Yeah.
TNT, man.
I wish I was more knowledgeable on Star Trek, because I would love to get involved, but
everything is on Amazon Prime, man. That's how I'm watching it.
Camera angle makes you a little more formidable, perhaps menacing. Is that right?
I mean, that is kind of a villain mustache.
It is. People call me Eggman all the time, like from the new Sonic movie, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Even though it's not even the same kind of mustache. But an overhead umbrella light from both sides, overhead, and quite affordable, were included in the green screen kit for $70. I have a villainy beard. That's right. We got to get you back on mustaches on Mustafar. A mustache twirling villain. I don't even have my good wax in it right now, so it's all like bleh.
Right. I will show you who Nurse Chapel is.
I don't know who that is.
It's a character from Star Trek. I'll show you. So I'm screen sharing that.
And before we get too far, my coffee of choice today is Pete's French Roast.
So that is Nurse Chapel, and basically she's basically the head nurse on the Enterprise, pretty much second in command of the whole medical command of the Enterprise under Dr. McCoy.
Does it have anything to do with the lady from the newer Star Trek movie?
Which one?
I don't know, the blonde lady. Doctor lady or whatever. I don't know. I only saw those once.
Literally right now, all I know is the original series, Star Trek Continues, and the first of the old movies.
Yeah, you just gotta... Oh, here we go. Get Green Lantern. Here's a sip for you. And I forgot Brandon, the anime guy. Here's a sip for you as well. And Ellen Copeland. Man, I'm slacking. That's a completely different person and character. Dr. Marcus. Okay.
Oh, hey.
Oh, we got Echo Base Network. Thank you. Appreciate the song.
Thank you.
I like that song. It's got some deeper meaning for me personally, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
And it was
That was a lot
definitely
of
a
fun
fun
playing.
song to learn and
Yeah,
play.
because we didn't even like really coordinate that song too well. We were just kind of like,
No,
oh yeah, this is the chords and it does kind of this, and just like watch my fingers and see what I'm doing. But I was playing
right,
in drop D, so I wasn't even playing like real chords. So
right.
you were just gonna have to
I was
feel
more
it out.
listening to what you were doing instead of
Mhm.
watching.
Exactly. And coach, if you're free, you're welcome to pop in here. I don't know if you're just saying hi on your phone somewhere or whatever, but if you want to pop in, you're always welcome here. God.
I can't wait to see that movie.
Network Nick or coach? We had Stash Rendar pop in here a few minutes ago, and then he
Stash
disappeared.
Rendar.
You don't know who Stash Rendar is?
I do. I'm just a little bit surprised he's going under
Oh.
that name.
Chat, do you know who Stash Rendar is? It's kind of an inside joke at this point. This is Nick and Lee in bed listening and wanted to say hello. Well,
hey.
In bed or not, you're always welcome on the channel as well, Nick, but I imagine you want to stay comfortable. So.
Yeah. And seriously, man, I hope
but
you're
thanks
feeling
for
better.
checking out the stream. Is he sick?
Yeah, he missed last week because he was sick.
No. I didn't even hear about that. Sorry to hear about that, dude. Coach is never up this late on the weekdays. Surprised you know Dash Rendar, but not Sprint Sides. Oh, no. I don't even know who Dash Rendar is. I actually, he was this X-Wing pilot or Snowspeeder pilot, I think. He was a pilot, right, for the Rebellion?
No clue.
Okay, I don't know, but I know who Stash Rendar is. What? To what? I don't know. Anyone in the chat have anything fun they want to share that they did over the weekend? You guys do anything interesting? Dash Rendar was a Han Solo replacement in Shadows of the Empire. Okay. Gotcha. I'm going to put the invite link in my Discord in case anyone wants to join. It is in my general Kenobi. So if anyone else wants to join and talk about your Monday.
Real quick, I got a question. Just pure curiosity. When, Tim, do you think is too soon to put up Christmas decorations?
I think September is too soon.
Yeah. I agree.
If people put up decorations in October, Christmas decorations, I don't blame them at all. Because I've told you this before. For me, Thanksgiving is part of Christmas. Like it's all the same. So I'm good. We haven't done anything this year yet. We've been busy, but I'm good putting up decorations like the day after Halloween. Me personally.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm, of course, sitting in my grandmother's living room, and she's already got her tree up right there. And this is usually around the time that she puts it up. So I was just curious what other people do. Hey, Brandon.
No, I know people that don't want to put up any Christmas decorations until like the week of Thanksgiving or the week of Christmas. And that way, kind of what?
Oh, I've got my youngest in here on her computer, chit-chatting with her friend while she's playing Roblox.
Fun.
Hello, to answer the question about decorations, never. I don't like doing the Christmas decorations. They drive me crazy. But if it absolutely has to be done, after the bird, Thanksgiving does not get the respect it deserves.
Oh, I respect Thanksgiving and I appreciate it, and I like it almost as much as Christmas. But to me,
I like it more.
It's basically the same thing,
except for eating turkey. You know, there's only one way to eat a turkey, and that's fried.
Agreed.
I need to learn how to fry turkey.
Though in general, I like ham more than I like turkey.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Ham.
Yeah.
I've got a decent recipe for some ham, and with the way things are unfortunately shaping up that are outside of our control, it looks like it's going to be a ham type of Thanksgiving. Ham.
Hey, I'd be good with that.
Yeah, so would I. But they're traditions and traditionalists that are going to be unfortunately not super happy. Either that or it'll become so unaffordable, and that makes me really, really sad. But
I mean,
it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the stuffing for me is the best.
Oh yes, I'll tell you,
stuffing.
Love stovetop. I love stuffing.
Mm-hmm.
Getting real stuffing that had been stuffed in a bird and cooked with the bird and then coming out of the bird. Yeah,
that's legit stuffing. Where with the cut up bread.
Yeah, that's legit stuff there.
And the celery and onions and.
I do have a pretty fun Thanksgiving story that once I get the kids and the dog to bed, more than happy to tell because it's not for the ears of children.
I can't wait.
I'm a little scared.
Oh, it's nothing too bad, but it's not something that I openly admit to them. And if they ever ask, I'll say yes, I did, and don't follow them in my footsteps with this one. Type of deal.
White bread and onion, celery, poultry seasoning, and milk. Yes, that sounds so good.
Speaking of
the celery is the kicker for me for stuffing.
Onions, celery, and if you like it, garlic. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I love me some garlic.
Yep, all of it mixed together with some, I've got Southern roots in me, so I do love me some good cornbread stuffing.
Yes.
I do. But just stuffing in general, it doesn't even matter. Yeah, it's rated PG for pretty gory.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not that bad. It'll be kept to a PG level, but it's from an interesting time in my life, and it does involve Thanksgiving, and it does involve stuffing.
Right on. If you love Star Wars or Star Trek, I think you all would love the anime Macross.
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Robotech.
You want to enlighten us?
Yes. Macross is the Japanese name for it. But in the US, it was adapted and trimmed down a bit into a series called Robotech. It has got a extremely iconic opening sequence. In fact, you know what? It's pretty readily available if you think you'd like to hear it. I play a snippet of it for you because it's really good. It really is.
Yeah, I give it a shot.
How is it similar to Star Wars or Star Trek?
Because let me think.
Is it like set in space, kind of the similar?
Kinda. Basically, what happens is this massive alien. Carrier crashes to Earth. Basically, it's a little nuclear bomb that goes off, blows up half of Japan. But from the wreckage comes basically the city of Macross. Yeah. And from there, we figure out most of the alien technology. But then 10 years later, while we're still trying to figure everything out, guess who shows up wanting to come up and go up against us because we have it. And the ship goes into an automatic defense mode, and then we have an alien invasion. And it just keeps getting better and better. And yeah, the Nerdporial life form has it spot on. It is a classic. Either the full Japanese Macross version or the trimmed down US Robotech version. Either way, I don't think you can go wrong. It really is good. And yeah, the little jet fighters, they can transform into bipedal mechanized armored vehicles, basically.
I'll have to check it out. It sounds interesting.
Oh yeah. Let me as I said, let me find it here. So the Robotech.
I'm still not in general. Other than a couple Studio Ghibli stuff.
Studio Ghibli is a good place to start. Speaking of which, girls yesterday decided to watch Ponyo. Ham! They love ham! Actually, let's see. This one looks like it's been touched up by somebody.
Yeah, Howl's Moving Castle is one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah, they're all.
I had to watch
actually,
that one 2 or 3 times to understand it.
Howl's Moving Castle?
Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
We actually named our first daughter after Sophie, the main character of Howl's Moving Castle.
Okay.
And because I like that name. Star Trek series. And halfway through season 2, jump straight into the search for Spock.
Yeah, as I said, there are several shows that are from that era, the late 70s, early 80s.
Oh, this is 85.
Longer, yeah, that was longer running. But when it did get localized here, they either trimmed a few things down, edited a few things here or there. Nothing like what they would do these days, but there are a few of them that did get that treatment. And in my opinion, I don't think you can really go wrong either way. If you can't keep up with the subtitles or if it's just too hard, watch what you prefer.
Oh, we got low spec Linux last laptop. There's a zip for you.
Heyo.
Welcome to the Monday Night Debrief, where almost everything goes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I've got the volume turned up, and here we go. That gets me pumped and jazzed. It gives me goosebumps.
I've never seen any of this.
It sounds very similar to the opening to Star Trek The Motion Picture.
Yeah, very upbeat. That is very true.
Very hard for the milk cross.
Yeah, definitely very 80s in the in the design.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Transformers: The Generation 1 cartoon.
Yeah, they had a very, very similar style. In fact, Marvel Studios at the time, they did format a lot of their work for a lot of their 80s shows. Same with G.I. Joe to studios that had a very similar style, but they all were pretty rough at that point in time. Hello, Green Lantern.
Hey.
Welcome, sir. Just Monday.
Yep.
And a sip for you has been taken. We're just checking out the opening to Robotech.
Oh, nice. I think I played.
What do you think the chances are that I get copyright strike or not?
We're only doing a few seconds.
Claimed,
so we should be okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember this one ever having a problem, but yeah, it's true. You never know. You just might end up like me, and don't end up like me.
No.
If you're gonna grow up, don't be like me.
Fair enough.
All right, let me play a little more here for you.
Is this series Earth-based?
It starts off that way. That's the battleship that crash lands to Earth, and that they find, and it has the ability to transform into basically a gigantic robot. The Japanese, they love their gigantic robots.
Of course.
But actually, this one's a little different compared to the one I normally see. So let's play it a little bit more here. Let's here we go.
It does seem very Star Warsy.
Yeah, well, you can definitely see the influence of it on there. But this is pretty typical for a lot of the action shows from this era, as far as the look of it. it's it's just one of those shows that you're either gonna really like it or you're just gonna scratch your head because of its age.
Right.
I'd give it a shot.
I would
Yeah,
give it a
it's,
shot. I got a lot of other stuff to check out. I got a list probably just as long as Paul's.
Well, let me think here. No.
This was
I better not say
1982.
where you
Believe it.
can find it because that's one of the things that could possibly get you in trouble. Just know
Everything
it's
was
out
trying to be
there.
Star Wars.
You can search for it and find it and watch it. But
Right on.
Okay.
let's got just a tiny little bit of this left here. Let's finish this guy up.
Oh.
Those ships that were blowing up kind of look like Metapod from Pokemon.
Yeah, that's what the jet fighters can turn into.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
cool.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a fun series, but as I said, it's old, it's rough,
Mhm.
and it's definitely very 80s, which
Yeah.
is a great thing. It brings a smile to my face, makes me grin. It might be. It's just the first one I found. It says it's the Robotech opening from '85, but who knows?
Did you
I
ever
don't
play
know
the?
anything
Did you
about
ever
that.
play? Did you ever play the GameCube game that Robotech had?
Unfortunately, no. I had a cube for a while, but I wasn't really big into console gaming there for a lot of years.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I found a opening sequence where somebody went through and redid all of it. It actually looks more like the more modern Macross as opposed to the old.
I still think I want to get into Berserk eventually.
I think you'll rather enjoy it, although my own thought on it is probably read the anime.
Mm.
I'm out of it. Read the manga. The three movie set that they did for the
What's up, Steve?
that wasn't
There's
very
a sip for you.
or at least I don't think it was very good. But I do like the original '97 version of Berserk that covers the Golden Arc or the Golden Age arc. I really enjoy it, but then again, that's the time frame that I typically like my anime from. So
Okay. By the way, Brandon, what's going on with your audio? You're fading in and out really bad.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It might be set on the automatically adjust mic volume.
Oh, it probably is. I don't
Because that is like the one feature on StreamYard that is terrible.
yeah,
is
it's
that automatic
really
mic
annoying.
volume?
How's that? Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds better.
All right. Let me double check one thing here.
It might still be doing it actually.
How's that?
I think if you're talking loud enough, it's good.
All right. Well, there we go. Turn off
Yeah.
that crappy feature.
Okay.
That
Do
and
we
I had
have
to
any-
redo my computer, so
Do we have any?
I probably don't have
other-
my settings all set up right.
Do we have any other Star Wars news that's recently come out since the trailer, or is that the most recent thing we got? Was just the trailer
I
dropping?
think they were talking yesterday on the Hangar Bay about how we're going to get an animated Maul series.
I've heard a rumor about that. I don't remember where I heard it, but I have heard that.
Yeah, that was the first I'd heard of it last night, but
Hmm.
this one I'm kind of on the fence on because as cool as Darth Maul's character is, I feel like he's to the point where if we see him anymore, he's going to become overexposed.
Yeah, he's right on the edge of that. Like he's got enough exposure to where he's kind of a household name now, more than he was if he was just in Phantom Menace, before Clone Wars. But I do feel kind of the same way that if we get a Maul show, yeah, he could be kind of overexposed. But at the same time, if they get just like basically what we got in Clone Wars Season 7 with the animation, and then obviously you got Sam Witwer with the voice acting, it could be awesome. Again, if they do it tastefully.
Could. Yeah, it could, but at the same time, it's like, how much is too much?
Probably already there.
Yeah.
Rogue Squadron was delayed a year. I think I did see a article for that. I didn't read it though.
Yeah, what I read, it looks like it's been delayed indefinitely.
Oof.
Yeah. So who knows what's going on with all of that? And
was Rogue Squadron the one that was supposed to be with Cara Dune, that they then changed to be Harrison Dula as the main character?
That was Rangers
of
of
the New
Republic.
You're right.
Allegedly,
Squadron was like the fighter movie, but with X-Wings.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's based upon the Rogue Squadron fighter group, but instead of it being part of the Rebel Alliance, it's set after the whatever junk.
After Episode 9.
Yeah, after all that crap. But you know what? As much as I love Star Wars, and I watched The Empire Strikes Back last night with my wife, the 2011 Blu-ray. And the picture wasn't quite right on it, but whatever. I can deal with it. That one was the least touched out of all of them, so I can live with it. But my zest, my zeal, and my everything for Star Wars it's pretty well gone. I just don't have that same lust for it like I used to. The same.
What do you think the main cause of that is for you personally? Is it just that we are fully saturated with all the Star Wars content that's come out in the last few years, or was it the sequel specifically, or is there just too much to keep track of? Like, what do you think it is for you that's kind of caused that flame to die down?
Well, the sequels didn't help,
right?
But they're not. I don't think they're the ultimate cause of it. If I sit down, think about it like I'm doing right now, it's not. I don't even think it's necessarily the amount of it we have. At one point, I don't think we could have too much Star Wars, but at the same time, I didn't watch I never watched the Clone Wars, the series. That to me that means nothing to me. Or the Bad Batch. I watched a few of the episodes, but it wasn't. Once again, it wasn't for me.
Right.
Maybe it's probably more along the lines of my tastes have shifted again. As much as I love Star Wars, and as much as it is a kid show per se,
right,
or more kid friendly, my girls don't watch it with me. I asked them if they would, and they both went to their computers yesterday and did their own thing. So I don't have that same level of connection that I had like with my grandfather with watching it, or watching it years ago when it was broadcast on NBC as the Sunday night movie and recording it as a kid and wearing the tapes out. That feeling just doesn't exist anymore.
And do you think that's because maybe they're not capturing the nostalgia that they could, or is it just something that your personal tastes have changed?
I think it's more for me, the personal tastes have changed, and knowing right now where everything ends. And until that gets scrubbed, which I don't think it will ever happen. I don't think it'll ever go away. At least not in any official capacity. In my mind, it doesn't exist. I've never seen the last movie, so I have no idea how that all shapes out, other than Rey steals everybody's name and property, and some old wrinkly sack-looking person comes back and had no rhyme or reason to come back.
Somehow.
He somehow returned. How?
Hello.
Hey.
Well, I definitely. Oh, we got friends.
Ryan.
Hey.
How are you?
So, I wanted to answer my thought.
I think since okay, so I think if we go back to the infamous year of 2017, 2018, the years that will live in infamy, I think that that was a sign that you can kind of oversaturate Star Wars, because they had The Last Jedi, which a lot of people didn't like, and then they had Solo a couple months later out of nowhere, right. And a lot of people they marketed that horribly. By the way, that movie.
True.
I didn't know that movie was coming out until I watched the Super Bowl, and like, oh, it's coming out this May,
right?
But they've been doing well sparsing the content. I mean, the Bad Batch is it felt more like filler between the Boba Fett show and Mandalorian.
Right, but if you were into that, like me, I loved the Bad Batch. I was really into it. For me, it wasn't oversaturated because I was looking forward to that. For other more casual viewers who are just wanting the Mandalorian, okay, Book of Boba Fett's coming out. They kind of just glossed over that. Maybe they checked out a few episodes, kind of like Brandon did. But that didn't oversaturate for them. And I think for Solo, that is a good point. It was only a couple months between was it The Last Jedi and Solo, and no one really even knew it was coming out. I didn't even know it was in theaters until it was in theaters.
Right.
And I think if they had delayed Solo like a full year, maybe not even put it in the December main movie slot, but at least in like October or something, giving it more breathing room, it probably would have been more successful.
Or not change directors 80% through.
I heard, well, to be fair, I think Ron Howard was the best fit to save that film, even though I hate how it looks. It's all muddy looking and everything. The way they were treating the actors in that movie is not how Star Wars should be. Because Star Wars is not a comedy movie, okay? If you're going to make a comedy Star Wars, then don't make it serious. But if you're going to force actors to say, hey, do this joke, okay, and just do it how you want it to be.
That's why the Last Jedi was very cringe with Marvel-esque dialogue. I mean, there was humor in the original trilogy, but it was done within the universe. It was very subtle. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, Han Solo asking Luke, "Can you imagine a princess and a guy like me?" He's like, "No." That's funny.
Or the scruffy-looking nerfer.
Who's scruffy looking?
And that was what they were trying to do with Solo. Was they were trying to do it like it was 24 Jump Street, where they do your jokes and the actors were uncomfortable. So I'm glad they changed directors. But I would have liked to see that vision, but I'm fine with what we got. It was just a Han Solo movie, so
it was basically checking a bunch of boxes. Okay, he gets the Millennium Falcon. Okay, he does the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
Yes.
He meets Lando Calrissian.
He comes from Corellia,
and he's from Corellia. And he
meets up with Chewbacca,
and he becomes a rebel, even though he wasn't a rebel in Star Wars. So. Oh well.
Yeah, I'm still really on the fence with Solo.
There was another
as far
actor
as, like, if it gets in my own headcanon.
There was another actor that would have been much better suited for the role, that would have played off Harrison Ford really nicely, but they went with Alden Ehrenreich instead. I forget the guy's name.
I didn't mind the young actor, the young Han Solo actor. If you watch the deep fakes, he has the Han Solo mannerisms down to a T. Just people just seem, I think they just judge him by the way his face looks.
He just came off as Han Solo. Like, you expect Han Solo to be like annoyed, a little,
yeah, and
cool.
Either that or
stoic.
take the character in a totally different direction and play young Han Solo, not just Han. Like, if they differentiated it enough, it was kind of a little too similar, but not quite there. And I'll have to rewatch Solo again. I've only seen it once. But
so here's my take on Solo. Number one, I think it's just an okay movie.
Yeah.
And it's definitely, I would say, the biggest example of a fan fiction type story from everything that Disney has put out. Alden Ehrenreich also I was disappointed with, and yeah, I just don't see Han Solo in him. Now, I will say this though. Just because it's not Harrison Ford doesn't mean that Alden Ehrenreich could have pulled off Han Solo. He very well could have. Because Brandon, I know you can back me up on this. On Tuesday Night Trek, we were watching Star Trek Continues, and none of the original cast was on that. But everyone literally especially the cast, put their heart and soul into that, to where you still got the essence of Kirk, Spock, McCoy, Sulu, etc., etc.
You forget that they're not played by the original actors, and that's how good and how compelling it is, and it can be done. So yeah, I totally agree with you, Paul.
Yeah, and in the case in Alden Ehrenreich, for whatever reason, whether it was the actor's fault or whether it was the direction they gave, it just didn't work.
I would like you guys to. You should watch the deepfake, because I think I do believe he gets the Han Solo mannerisms down. I don't know why people judge him so harshly, and I think it's from how he looks in the movie.
No, he just didn't come off as Han Solo. He felt like a different character. At least that's how that was my impression.
To be fair, it is a young Han Solo. I think he like 19 or 20 or.
I think it's only 8 to 10 years prior. So,
I think what did it for me was just the way that, at least I got the sense that this young Han Solo was actually like trying to act confident and cocky, whereas the Harrison Ford Han Solo just was. He didn't have to try; it was effortless.
Yeah. But then you can argue that Han Solo in the OT is just Han Solo. He's got his Falcon. He's notorious now. He's everyone knows who he is, and so he's just sunk into his persona of Han Solo, the rogue, dashing smuggler.
Well, everyone except Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan never heard of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Should I have?
Oh, Alec Guinness.
I will say this though. I don't think I would have disliked Solo, and I don't hate Solo at all.
No, me neither.
I'm pretty impartial about it. I don't think I would have disliked it as much. I probably would have really enjoyed it if it didn't come out right after The Last Jedi. Because Force Awakens came out, I didn't like it from the beginning. I was kind of the opinion of this is how Star Wars should go. Rogue One comes out, this is how Star Wars should be. That's exactly what I want. The Last Jedi, what is this? I thought you guys learned your lesson. Like, didn't like people tell you that Rogue One was good? Like, can't you do that? And then Solo came out, and by that point, I was like,
the only weakness, in my opinion, of Rogue One is character development. I think there should have been less. I think there should have been less characters. And here's the thing: they need to say their names more. I didn't know who half the characters' names were. I mean, say their names, like in Breaking Bad. Say his name. Say their names.
Yep. I have a hot take.
That's just a directing issue. Or the story writers issue.
But that final act, with the battle, that battle was freaking amazing.
And that's what I wanted to see going into that movie. Is I wanted to see the ground assault. I wanted to see, like, okay, we get it. A ship blows up and 10,000 people die. We don't really. It doesn't make sense to us. It's not put in terms that we can understand. But when there's like 50 guys on the ground and they're getting blown up, like there's weight to that. And that's what I really loved about that movie and that final battle specifically.
I have a hot take on the spinoffs. I think Solo is more rewatchable than Rogue One.
Boy, not for me.
Okay.
Okay.
That works for me if you like it, but I saw Solo once.
And my argument is that when Han Solo starts, the introduction to Han Solo is less than 15 minutes, and then we get into where he meets his mentor, and then they do the heist, which is in Rogue One, my biggest issue with that movie is the first hour of it is kind of, well, I'm just going to say it. It's interesting, but I wasn't invested because it's kind of boring.
I can understand that.
And it's pretty much after the whole Vader scene with, well, I would say after they leave Jeddah. Well, no, actually, I'll even say it further. When she leaves her father is when the movie sort of picks up speed, and I think that's where they reshot most of the movie was the whole Scarif, because the movie just picks up right after Vader has his meeting with Krennic and speeds to the end, and then you're like, wow, Rogue One's the best Star Wars movie. But then I try to remember what happened at the beginning. There was Tarkin, and then there was there was Tarkin, and then there was a tentacle monster, and
I think I might have a hotter take.
That served no purpose.
Not to mention Forrest Whitaker was acting weird.
Go. It's like this.
Yeah.
Well, I need to take off.
Like, why
I'm gonna go put
save the dream.
I'm gonna go put my kiddos to bed and all that, and yeah, I think it's just because of how bad it's been mismanaged and the stuff that's come out. You know, I did like watching The Mandalorian, but I haven't watched it again.
Understood.
Whereas I saw the first season of Mandalorian twice. Maybe my expectations were just completely shot, or I just have no interest in it. And it even goes with Visions. As much as I liked it, I haven't watched it again.
I have an unpopular opinion about Mandalorian. Personally, I think it's mediocre. Like most Disney Plus content.
I understand.
This is just my opinion. I know a lot of people like it. So
it's good, but it's one of those conundrums. It's like it's right on the cusp of greatness, and I've mentioned this before, and this will be the last thing that I mention as far as something that should be good, could be good, but isn't because it's being held back by children, and that is Star Trek Lower Decks. I see the potential in it. I see what they're trying to do, but because of the fact that they're children and the type of jokes they tell are childish jokes, and a lot of the scenarios set up in it just typically don't happen in Starfleet because it's supposed to be, the best of the best. It lost me completely. It had me at the very end of the first season.
The only comedy that works with Star Trek is basically fish out of water type stories. Yeah, like Star Trek for the Voyage Home is.
Voyage Home, yep.
This Lower Decks Rick and Morty stuff just
the Rick and Morty crap.
And I've only watched the first episode and I was just like, this is dumb.
Most of them there were a few of them that were actually pretty good. They did have one episode where they had to they got stuck handling a Doppler ambassador. And the problem is if the Doppler feels embarrassed, he starts splitting himself in half and duplicating, can't stop. Eventually they stop being nice to him and tell him to stop being such a little shit, basically. And he finally pulls himself back together. They're trying to get to the biggest Starfleet party in the quadrant for all the captains. They get there. The captain, of course, isn't invited because it's the Cerritos, and the Cerritos is I think a California class ship, and they're the ass end of everything for Starfleet. But they get there and they send the Doppler in, and they ruin it. They ruin their fancy party for everybody else. They go to a little bar that Kirk and Spock went to. Now, as I said, it has those flashes of brilliance. It has the potential, but they can't quite pull it together. And
I heard they recently reconstructed like the radiation or the warp chamber from Wrath of Khan and the Enterprise. I forget. It was like a holodeck simulation or something.
The deal with that was they had to have basically a Starfleet trainer come and do a more or less a competency test. So they put everybody into these little hollow chambers and have them run through various scenarios. One of them being the Wrath of Khan scenario. They call it the good of the many, and they just keep going through all of these. And that's where the infamous Vulcan salute part comes from. And had they not included that level of childish, juvenile type of humor, that episode would have been fine, because it was a great episode. It was hilarious. Basically, just going to show that the people that think that they're hired because of their quote unquote expertise, and they know all the different parameters, they know how things should go, by the book, this, that, and the other all the time. When they actually get thrown into a real world situation that the Cerritos deals with on a daily basis, which, as I said, is basically the ass end of everything, this person knows nothing. They show them that, they pass them, and then they get this person tossed out of Starfleet for basically cheating Starfleet out of money.
I wish I knew what we were talking about.
I think Lower Decks. I wanted to say, I don't take Lower Decks seriously, and I kind of I see it as it is a parody, and I feel bad that people are just negative towards it because they can't accept that it's parody, and if it's not their humor, it's fine.
It's canon. It's not parody. It's canon.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. Is, as I said, it has those flashes, but they take it too far, and that's where I get lost. Anyways, I gotta go, guys.
Hey,
I will
Brandon,
see y'all tomorrow.
Before we go, Brandon, I have one thing that I do want to touch on that you said earlier.
Yes.
Your point of why you don't enjoy Star Wars like you used to, because you don't have that connection with your kids that you did with your grandfather. That may be true, but you do have that connection in a different way with us.
That is true. You are all my children, because I am probably vastly older than all of you. Bless you, my children. Bless you, my Star Wars nerd friends. Bless you, my Star Trek nerd friends, and all that. So, all right, guys.
Take care.
I gotta go.
Night.
Talk to you later.
There's one thing I wanted to touch on real quick. Low Spec says Mando is mediocre, but it actually feels like Star Wars, and I like it. I completely agree with that.
Can I make a little point? It looks like Star Wars. I mean, there's characters that resemble Star Wars. It's missing it's missing a Vader-like villain, a villain that's when a villain comes in the room, something's going to happen. So, hence that's why the original trilogy worked.
Opinion. It depends on what you want out of Star Wars, because we all want different things. Like for you, that might be a drawback, because you want that. Who was the Vader? Who was the Palpatine? Who was the Grievous? Like, who was the main?
But that's what
intimidating bad guy.
That's what Star. I mean, that's basically
right.
Star Wars. And I'm good versus evil.
Right, and I'm saying that's generally the opinion for you.
Yeah.
For me, I like that there isn't a main bad guy, because I would rather. I've said this before, not in a while, but in some other streams. I go to Star Wars to feel immersed in the universe. The Mandalorian did that for me. Rogue One did that for me. The sequel trilogy didn't do that for me. The Solo didn't do that for me. The Bad Batch did do that for me, and that's what I'm looking for. So I don't need a big main bad guy. Sure, it could have made the story a little more interesting if there was.
I think there should be a gallery, like a rogues gallery of villains. In my opinion, like different villains from different things. I mean, Moff Gideon was fine. I love Giancarlo Esposito. His Gus Fring from Breaking Bad is one of the best villains of all times. You had no idea what he was going to do next, like that type, and like you didn't know if he was going to kill someone. It's just that type of thing. It amps up the entertainment,
right?
And that's the reason why the original trilogy is rewatchable. I mean, Vader's one of the greatest villains of all time. I mean, I know it's hard to keep up with it, but I mean, there's been EU stuff and video games that have been able to still recapture that without Vader. So I don't know what they're doing.
For me, when I was excited when the sequel trilogy was announced, but The Force Awakens I thought was an okay movie. Of course, the Star Wars fan in me thought it was the greatest thing ever, and then I got my glasses on, like, oof. And then after a while, it went downwards. But I thought Rogue One was a good start to how spin-off material could be handled. How I see it is Mandalorian might, and I feel the same way about the Boba Fett trailer, because I know the trailer looks kind of bland to me, but I know I'm going to enjoy it because it's already staying true to the Star Wars stash.
Dash Rendar XXX Wing.
I think as soon as they brought Luke into Mandalorian, I'll even say they brought Boba into it, and then Ahsoka, I was sold completely on Mandalorian. And yes, I can agree, it is kind of like there's some episodes that drag, and but those are just people that Dash Rendar. I wanted to answer one thing though. I saw in the comments that boy Steve. See ya. So I want to just sum up my thoughts on Trek, because I am a Trekkie, somewhat.
You should check out our Tuesday night Trek that Paul hosts every Tuesday night.
Yes. I will join. I would love to join into that.
Absolutely. Tell you what are you doing a week from tomorrow? Because we're going to be reviewing Wrath of Khan.
Oh, I just watched Wrath of Khan. Yeah, I will. I'm doing nothing.
Join us. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes, I would. I'll watch it a million times. But just to do a quick sum for that boy Steve, classic Trek. A lot of Trekkies like it. I'm one of the few that think it's a little outdated. However, I do like the motion pictures much better than the 60s show. TNG is a much watch. DS9 is a much watch. Picard and crew are great. They're my favorites. I grew up with them, as well as the TOS crew, cinematically, of course. But I would recommend TOS, though, if you're curious.
Yes.
I thought you just said it was outdated.
That highly enough.
Well, no, for me it's outdated. I've watched it.
Are you talking about the original series, the movie?
The 60s, okay, the 60s show. I don't saying outdated doesn't mean I don't like it. It's mean when I watch Trek, I don't really go back to the old series, because I've seen all the old series, and I've seen the one with Khan where but Spacey. When it comes, yes. But when I mean outdated is that I don't mean it negatively. It's just I don't tend to rewatch those shows compared to TNG. The movies are different. I watch the movies much more often than most, and I love Wrath of Khan. It's my favorite, and it just I realize how just great cinematically it is. It's like the Empire Strikes Back of Trek. I am going. Am I going on? Am I going on a bit too?
No, you're awesome, man.
Okay.
But this is Monday Night Debrief. So
before you guys go on, I just want to let you know I'm taking off. So be ready. I'm gonna hopefully get a video out this week, and I'm gonna share my plans for the future up to Q1 of 2022. Nice. So see y'all tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks for stopping by, dude.
See you tomorrow, Doctor. Now, real quick, Crit, can I ask what specific part of the original series you think is outdated?
Not the characterizations. I just think the look and some of the stories are outdated.
Okay. So I was about to say, if it's the effects that you think are outdated, they have gone back and remastered those.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, the Blu-ray versions. Yeah, they do. They show all those on the local television all the time. Sometimes I'll sit down and watch them. But when I rewatch Star Trek, I either rewatch the movies or I rewatch TNG or DS9. Is what I mean.
Okay.
But
okay.
But when it comes to
hold up, Stash Rendar.
Hello.
In the flesh.
Sorry.
Dude, I'm so relieved that you didn't shave it off. I got scared for a minute.
No, man. What do you think? Phil McCracken's going to get me to throw my? Yeah, come on.
Real quick, X-Wing. I raised up the angle of the camera.
This is
better.
This is perfect.
Okay, sweet.
This is beauty. I love it.
Sweet. I just need a tripod now because it's on like some cardboard boxes. So
I have an extra. Do you want me to send you a tripod? I have a pretty good one.
I'll get one.
Okay.
I mean, if you want, but like, I don't know.
Well,
I'd rather have an X-Wing tumbler.
So if you need something, is it still not working on the website? You can't buy it anymore?
I haven't checked recently.
Yeah, I bought
it last time.
Nick's gonna give it to you.
Nick's gonna give it to you.
I understand that reference.
To finish off my message to that boy Steve, you could watch the shows after Deep Space Nine. I'm not really a big fan of those. Do not watch Discovery. That's like the Last Jedi of Star Trek. Do not. In Picard, don't touch that shit. Oh, sorry. My bad.
You just said a no word. Yes, you
no
did.
word.
It's true.
No, don't touch the sheesh. Don't touch the
Don't touch that baloney.
The shenanigans. Don't touch those shenanigans. Those are really bad shenanigans. If you want Last Jedi flashbacks, you'll get those if you after.
I feel like the first time the Green Lantern 345. Like, how many times have we talked on stream and I've never seen you in the flesh? You're an actor. I thought it might have been like a Russian bot or something, but it's so. Yeah.
There is no Russian bot. You want to go Russian when you think you're alive.
By the way, I like that Chewie micro X-Wing. That's good.
I did today. I came home and there was a case of beer and this sitting in front of it. I'm like, God, I love you.
I think I might have a hotter take than Lord Crit on Rogue One. Tim, a long time ago on a stream far away, I mentioned that I feel like I might be the only person that didn't like the end of Rogue One.
Oh,
I think you did mention that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, look at X-Wing's face. Okay, explain that.
Someone screenshot that so we can meme it.
I wonder if X-Wing heard my opinion. I said Solo was more rewatchable than the first hour of Rogue One.
Okay, the first hour, I understand that. All right, Green Lantern, explain that spicy nugget of a hot take.
You will try.
So, have any of you ever seen Band of Brothers?
Oh, 100%, yeah. 506 East Company? Hell yeah, 500.
Eagles. 501st.
501st. 101st. 501st.
100. Yeah, that's right. So there was a scene in there, I forget what number episode it was, but if you remember the part, they were in the forest and they were
Bastogne?
I think so. It was in the wintertime, and there was one of the soldiers had got shot in the neck from a MG nest or MG fire, and they were literally probably that far from him, but they couldn't get to him because they would have been killed too. And it was gut-wrenching to see, because they were literally, if they stuck their arm out, they could have touched them, but then they would have died too, and they couldn't have done anything. And that scene was easier for me to take than the ending of Rogue One. Because, has anyone ever seen How It Should Have Ended?
Mm-hmm.
You remember the one they did on Rogue One?
I haven't seen How It Should Have Ended Rogue One. I imagine it would have been, if you got out from the Death Star blast on Jeddah, you should have been able to get out from the Death Star blast on Scarif.
See, that's the thing. I didn't have a problem. I mean, no, I didn't like it, but I didn't have a problem with K2SO's death. Because I'm like, okay, he died, he went down fighting. he took shots and everything, and he went down fighting. I'm like, okay, sure, that's no, I don't like it, but I'm okay with it as a death.
Just real quick, let me interject right here. Earlier they were talking about comedy being juvenile and not the right kind of comedy. I didn't like the comedy in Solo either, although not as much as I disliked the comedy in the rest of the sequels. Rogue One, they did the comedy correct for the Star Wars universe, but then I realized all the funny parts are K2.
Yeah.
So he was just a great character. So if we get more of him in Andor, like I think we're going to, I'm in.
Well, I mean, I think George generally had the droid be the comedic relief. I think it was his general intention was to have the droid be the comedic relief.
Yeah, but you get in the original trilogy, the comedy is not just from the droids, but there's a flavor to the comedy.
Yeah, it's very matter of fact.
It's not juvenile. Like there would be no like poop jokes in Star Wars, right?
Or like your mother.
Right, exactly. Like that's the same kind of middle school joking because that's the audience they were playing to. It's the same as the Marvel audience at the time.
Right.
And it's a different flavor of comedy than we got in everything else. And Rogue One did it correct.
Yep. So. It's almost, dare I venture to say, it's almost British. You almost might call it highbrow humor, where it passes, and if you're not paying attention, you miss it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
congratulations, you are being rescued.
I mean,
yeah.
Did we forget that?
Oh no,
Jar
I'm not
Jar,
brave enough for politics.
Did we?
Yeah. You want to know what the odds she's going to kill you with it, huh? It's not good.
Hi.
Did we forget that? Yeah. Did we forget that Jar Jar jive walks into poop in the Phantom Menace?
That is true.
And there's a big horse fart, and he sniffs it, and
yeah, that's right.
Like the aardvark camel, the fart.
Yeah, as someone that has never out and out hated Jar Jar Binks, I can certainly understand because of those scenes why others would.
Although, as we saw this last week. No, I didn't see
it's the aardvark camel that farts, and it's like, and it turns around, and I'm like, you haven't seen that?
So nasty.
No,
I think I deleted it after a couple hundred views. I'm like, this is getting too big. This has to go away.
This is getting out of hand.
Now there are two of them.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Not smart.
So, what were you about to say about this past week, Tim?
What was that? Oh, what I was going to say. Not as bad as the Jar Jar from Clone Wars that we watched.
Oh God!
Just this last week. It was bad. It was rough.
Except for his voice, I actually thought that was pretty good.
The actions weren't bad, but the voice is just not even close. Anyone could do a better Jar Jar than that.
Watch. Listen to Jar Jar Binks. Listen doing a better voice than the Clone Wars.
Exactly.
Is it in season 1?
Nailed it.
Yes,
yeah, it's season 1, episode.
That's Ahmed Best.
Like 13 or something? No, it's not.
One is
in general.
They think that's Ahmed Best in season 1.
It was in Bombad Jedi, but not in Gungan General.
The one where he's the ambassador to Hondo's clan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad.
It's
so bad. The reason I didn't like the only death that I was okay with was K2SO, and the reason I didn't like Rogue One was because they killed everybody off. I mean, they were just like one. What's his face? Saw Gerrera was like, he could have escaped on the ship, but he was like, "Nah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay here and die." Yep.
He was close to death anyway.
I mean, this is just me. I mean, again, probably I feel like I'm the only person in the world that has this opinion, but I don't care. But I'm like, I think it was the fact that they didn't really. I mean, the fact that Jin and Cassian just like sat there on the beach, how it should have been and made a really good point with that. It's like, so you already hijacked an Imperial ship and, hotwired that, but there's no ships that could have, tried to get away from that. And I'm like, and now they're all gone. Like, you can't use them for anything else. You can't, I get it. It's a war movie.
They could have hopped into a ship and they might have gotten out into atmosphere. But what was going on in atmosphere? The rebels were being annihilated in the atmosphere.
They had to get out of there quick.
Run. So they would have gotten out of the atmosphere and gotten blown up anyway.
Right. Yeah, there would have been zero chance.
It was game over for them at that point. They would have hoped
that they jumped in a ship with hyperdrive capabilities with the coordinates already programmed in. Otherwise, they wouldn't have made it at all.
Even if they could have jumped, they might have gotten blown up by one of the Star Destroyers that was sitting there. I mean, dude, it was done. It was done.
But I mean, that's the thing. I guess I didn't like it because just for that reason. I mean, I would have liked it before. Everybody remembers when when Vader and Ahsoka faced off. It was like, is Ahsoka dead? Is she not? And then the whole thing was like, there was question whether or not she was dead or not. And so for me, it's just, I'm like, I didn't like it because now they're all gone. You can't use them anymore. I guess I would have liked it better if...
Not according to Star Wars. Any one of them could show back up at any point.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, good somehow, Lord, I forgot about that. Yeah, somehow. Returned. Sure. Yeah, I forgot about that. Never mind, they're not dead. They're just floating somewhere.
Jin got launched by a rock in space, but then she used the Force to Mary Poppins away onto one of the Star Destroyers, and now she's been living as a double agent the entire time.
Because she was actually Darth Tenebris's...
That's right.
Niece.
Cousins.
Remember?
No.
She's going to come with Commando as Darth Talon.
You guys got it all wrong. She's hiding in the closet of the Emperor, force projecting herself.
That's right.
Then she could come out of the
closet. She's just sitting back there just...
She's a dyad with Grogu.
Yes, and that's right. I remember that. I remembered it from the comic.
You guys read any of the books? You guys might know that.
Do you even call yourself a Star Wars fan? Yeah. How do you sleep at night?
How do you even your coffee?
I think I had a funny argument with someone who was saying like, "Oh, Luke couldn't train with Yoda. He didn't do it enough. Yet he went toe to toe with Vader and Empire. It didn't make sense at all." I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, he did great too. He did so good against Vader and Empire.
The dyad is taking over.
They ripped that off.
And no, I said I didn't say I didn't not like the whole of Rogue One. I liked Rogue One. I just didn't like how it ended. Unless
and keep in mind, Green Lantern, none of us are saying that you're a bad person for having an opinion.
Oh, no.
Just
nah.
No,
I don't think we're attacking you. We're saying maybe we don't agree with your ideas, but I actually don't even blame you for having that idea. I completely understand where you're coming from.
No.
I just don't share it.
Same. Yeah. I think if they were not going to die on that beach, they were going to get on a ship and they were going to die in space anyways. Right. And from a storytelling perspective, it's so much more impactful for them to hug on that beach and die.
Right. And think about this. It was Admiral. It wasn't Admiral Akbar. It was the other guy.
Yeah,
Admiral
it
was
Raddus. You're right. Yep. So he had said like Rogue One, may the Force be with you. He knew they were going to die because they had to turn tail and run immediately, or they were going to get blown up. So it was basically him saying, "Oh, sorry, we can't save you. There's nothing we can do. May the Force be with you."
Oh, he died anyway.
Has anyone named the ISD that showed up? Because I heard there were rumors that it was the Chimera that actually jumped in around Scarif.
Hadn't heard that before.
I haven't heard that, but that would make sense.
That was the Chimera. And then people are like, no, because Vader wouldn't be on the Chimera, but Vader was on the Chimera a lot, actually. So,
and wasn't that from Heir to the Empire, where the whole reason why Thrawn was still around was because he was deployed to the unknown regions or something? And he says in the opening of that book, I'm pretty sure, like, if I had been there as the admiral during the battle over Endor, then we wouldn't have lost.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know if that was Heir to the Empire or the new Thrawn trilogy.
No, I'm pretty.
In Rogue One,
you have me confused. I'll have to look it up.
That was before he got the Executor. It was he had his own Imperial Star Destroyer, the Devastator. It wasn't the Chimera; it was the Devastator.
Oh, by the way, congratulations! We all made it through Monday. Happy Tuesday, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I only have to be up in like 4 hours, so Gucci.
Oh, jeez.
All right, we got to start wrapping it up because I got work again tomorrow.
Yeah, I got work too.
Actually,
honestly, I don't remember. I don't remember if that was there. If that was.
It's one of the two, but that's a really interesting thing to think about. Was that the Chimera that showed up to deal with Scarif? Was that Tarkin saying like, "Hey, Thrawn, help me out,
handle it"? Well, I mean, Thrawn would have been at that point. Thrawn would be. I actually don't know. In terms of that time frame, I don't know where Thrawn would have been because he met Vader as Vader. I just don't know when he met them.
Yeah.
I think he's. I think Thrawn's in the unknown regions, like Heir of the Empire after Rebels. Yeah.
Gut feeling, I don't think so. Honestly.
You don't.
No.
It seems cool.
Yeah,
it's definitely a much more viable theory than the Captain Rex was the one who helped Padme get up from the sand theory, which is bogus.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
No. Some people do. Some people are really hard proponents of that.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
No, I don't either.
In fact, actually, I was against Captain Rex being the guy on Endor until the book confirmed it.
Yeah.
But I don't like that. I still don't like that.
That guy doesn't have the designation of any higher rank than just a regular clone trooper.
Just a dude. And if this was a dude that literally like disobeyed Order 66, had fought with rogue Jedi, this is like you're talking about somebody who's an absolute legend. He wouldn't be just a dude in a cloak and a helmet. Like,
are you all right?
All
right, let's go.
Yeah, he would have been there with the homies, like for sure.
He's trying to make connections where there shouldn't be.
Yeah,
not everything has to be a fan-made Easter egg.
Yeah, that's unnecessary to me.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to start wrapping it up. Anyone have any closing words?
Hello to Sus T.
Yes. I am Sus.
Great conversations tonight in general.
Yes.
Oh, also one other thing I forgot to mention. I don't know if anyone else is into this, but I finally decided to dive into Doctor Who.
Dude, we'll see you in a couple of years, bro.
I'm only watching okay. By the advice of a coworker, I decided to start at the 9th Doctor instead of all the way back at the beginning.
Yeah.
I
know of the Doctor mainly because of Critical Drinker.
Mm-hmm.
I know of the Doctor just because of the Drinker, and I trust that guy to do an unbiased and honest opinion on what we're looking at. And sounds like all the stuff that came before was great, and then we got one recently that just got bastardized, and it seems to be a lot of the great storytellers of our generation, somebody has bastardized their work in the name of profit.
Yes.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I like the classic, like the 4th Doctor.
Okay.
If you like Tom Baker.
Maybe at some point I might go back and watch all that stuff.
Doctor Who.
I don't like the new. I don't know much about Doctor Who except the old stuff, so I'm kind of like the opposite of most people.
I know that Bosk wore a Doctor Who costume. I know that. Bosk in the OT was wearing a retired Doctor Who costume.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, his yellow.
I love Easter eggs with like props and costumes from shows and movies and stuff. That's so interesting to me.
I think I've said this before. Fun fact: Bosk and I think L3 or not L3, IG-88. They are on the Jabba sail barge in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, and I've heard Yak Face is there too, and there's a freeze frame where you can kind of see Yak Face. Yeah. There's another freeze frame where you can kind of see Bosk, but I don't think it was Bosk.
Yeah, Bosk is on there. There's behind the scenes photos. But
really?
Yeah.
Give me a freeze frame of him on the barge during Mojay. I'll believe you.
You'll believe. I'll send it to you right now on Discord.
Send it to me.
All right, Green Lantern, you got anything to close with?
Well, I got I put together a highlight reel of last week's my first live stream last Thursday, and so the highlight reel is up on my channel now, and it's also on the you go to Echo Base Networks Discord server, and it's on the EBN TV channel. And for some reason I submitted it for Echo Base TV, but for some reason the link didn't work. So that's where it is right now. And we're going to, if anybody is interested, we're going to be doing another live stream this Thursday at 9:30, and Mr. Coffee on Korban is going to be on there too. And we got Star Wars Theology, Padawannabe, and Strike are going to be on, and we'll be talking about stop motion and content creation in general, and just the rewards and challenges of it. So if anybody wants to peek in, this will be my second live stream. So yeah.
I didn't get an invite.
Well, I didn't think a big shot like you would want to, have anything to do with a little peon like me. So
yeah, Mr. Monetized.
Oh, how did I know this was gonna happen?
Oh, I don't want super chats. Please stop sending in those super chats.
So on my main,
gonna happen,
bro. You know we're proud of you.
Yes,
you guys are jerks. Well, I mean, if you would honor me with your presence, as long as it's a time frame when I can be there. What day is it?
It's Thursday at 9:30 Eastern.
That's 30 minutes into Boomer. Oh no, it's not. We moved Boomer to Wednesday.
Yeah,
I'm there.
Yeah, because Matt Cave might show up. He's not a definite, but he said he's going to aim for this Thursday.
I'll make him be there.
But yeah,
and we get me on a Boomer council if I'm Boomer enough.
If there's time, if anybody wants to go check out, there's a wild and crazy idea that I had that I think could be a lot of fun. If there's time, we'll do it live. Go check out my Discord server, Goggles and Gadgets, and under there I created a channel called Mashups, and I put one on there.
Goggles and Gadgets.
Yep, Goggles and Gadgets. It's
Green Lantern.
Yeah, no, Green Lantern's my personal channel, and Goggles and Gadgets is my.
I had no idea.
But yeah, yep. Yeah, okay. Green Lantern is my personal channel. Goggles and Gadgets is my public channel, I guess you'd call it. There's a thing called Mashups, where, just to give you a hint, what if Fred Flintstone and Din Djarin were neighbors? And Fred didn't like it.
What?
I'm subscribed to Goggles again.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we might, if there's time, we might do that live. I love making people laugh, and I thought it could be a lot of fun. And yes, that's Paul. That's exactly the response that I'm looking for. It's like, what? and then it's just, okay, what the heck is this? This is totally outrageous.
Dude,
but it's really funny.
Paul is streaming from a literal lazy boy.
Yes, I am. And believe it or not,
this is a $30 Office Depot chair. Like, I am so uncomfortable.
This one's free.
I don't normally stream free X-Wing. This is my secondary streaming location. I'm supposed to be upstairs where my actual desktop is.
Right.
But last night I had
from like the bedroom because you'd be like sitting on the bed.
No, I have a chair, believe it or not, even cheaper than the one that you guys. Literally a plastic folding chair.
Yeah.
But that's where my actual
desk
and desktop is. But currently my internet is completely unreliable up there, but I tend to have better connection down here. So anytime I can't get it done up there, I come down here. However, I keep saying this, but this Wednesday, I'm finally going to switch to a better internet provider and not have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah. Crit, any closing thoughts?
No, great stream tonight. Talked about a bunch. Like, I'm always down to join if you ever need like a co-host or anything.
Cool. Awesome. And X-Wing, you made it. I always appreciate you.
You jackass call me a big timer.
Well, and of course, I just wanted to say congratulations on monetization.
Thank you.
Because now you're on my channel, so congrats for me. And I'm slowly climbing. I'll get there.
You're gonna get there, bro. You're gonna get there. We're gonna do some stuff. We'll throw stuff.
And don't forget the 26th. I'm pretty sure it is. 26th is the charity stream. Friday the 26th.
Yeah, because I think that Wednesday is Mrs. X-Wing's birthday. Or because that's a Wednesday. Yep.
Sweet. Well, if you guys want to do your sign-offs, and we'll close her on down.
All right, sounds good. So thanks everyone for watching this stream. Of course, make sure to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. And just remember, the Force is family. See you guys later.
One of these days, I gotta figure out how to end this thing. Click.
So funny.
Y'all remember to hit that sub button, okay?
Sub pipe.
Sublime subscriptions.
You gotta find funny. Like every time you don't subscribe, a youngling dies in the temple or something like that. You gotta guilt trip people.
Is that
what are we gonna do?
Versus me? I say delicately tap the subscribe button.
Tap. See, yeah, you can go soft like that. I'm not saying
actually. Usually, my call to subscribe is I don't really beg people to subscribe to my channel. I generally want the content to win them over. But like when I'm, promoting other people's channels, I'll usually say like, tap the subscribe button because it literally costs you nothing. It's just a button that you push. But to someone else, it means a whole lot. So give them your sub.
You speak with reason. The internet does not understand.
I know, exactly. I'm like shouting against the wind. No one can hear me.
You're kind of making me want to my shtick now. Now I'm thinking, because I don't have a shtick when it comes to subscribing. I never have. I have a little there's this thing called creator set, and then they let you like drop it on your video. But now I might have to make something of it.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't touch that subscribe button, a Padawan is going to feel the blade of Anakin Skywalker in the temple. He will feel the dark side run through his body as his blood runs along the cool tile of the temple floor.
That exact thing.
Yeah.
Say that every time.
Yeah. Just like
perfect.
Yeah. I don't really have it. I don't really have a giveaway, so I'm just gonna say, don't forget that at 976 subscribers, I was a different person. Now that I'm over 1,000, like you guys said, I'm totally different. I'm a completely different person now. I'm a big fish. I have no time for you guys. Don't forget that.
The super chats start rolling in. It's the same as like adding an infinity stone to the gauntlet.
Cool. I'm way too cool for you guys. So like, just remember that like I don't have time. Like, don't DM me. Don't talk to me. I'm just
only read super chats.
I only read super. I'm not going to talk to you unless you pay me.
He also only reads super chats above $20.
That's right. Yeah, I ain't gonna read no $5 holiday.
Prostitute.
Yeah, trash. I'm worth more than that. I'm worth.
You got to find your collection. Everything behind you. Do you think that was free?
Yeah. Seriously, it's not a socialist country, okay?
To semi-quote Watto, your trips don't work on me, only money.
And honestly, like after this, I'm firing my publicist for bringing me onto this show because it's disgusting. Gross.
If I unsubscribe, does that kill Youngling also?
It kills you.
What's up, Real Talk? Thanks for tuning in right at the very end.
Hello, Real Talk.
Amen.
All right. Well, everyone that tuned in to watch tonight, thank you for stopping by. And if you've been here since the beginning, I really appreciate your time. Everyone here appreciates that. If you're not subscribed to everyone on this panel, please do, because again, a subscription costs you nothing. It's literally a button you push, but to someone, it means a whole lot. So give them your sub. And I'm just, thanks for stopping by for this Monday Night Debrief. You all have all been debriefed, and we will see you wherever we happen to see you in the galaxy. Good night, everyone.